can instantly transition between Miles Morales and Peter Parker. Up to 60 suits, but 200 different combinations of suits that you can create with the characters. I got the honor to go to a limited screening of Ahsoka Episode 5, which was probably one of the most incredible experiences that I've had in the theater for sure.
We put on a race and we put 99 laps.
We were talking 99 laps.
Bro, we were there for like hours.
I would do like FIFA matches full length, Madden matches full length.
I'm very picky with it.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon,
I forgot Yu-Gi-Oh.
Gundam.
Oh, Gundam was the robot one.
Yeah.
But was that a game? Was that a trading card as well?
Probably.
Because I know Digimon, like, wait, no.
Oh, Beyblades. Beyblades did a movie. Oh, let me see the Beyblade poster.
Beyblade
yeah, that
movie?
shit banged, bro.
Really?
Yeah, that was before Transformers had their wave. No, that's not it.
Dang, did you pay?
No,
did you play
maybe
with
I'm not
Beyblades?
thinking of Beyblade. Maybe I'm thinking of then there's one that we haven't named yet, where they look kind of like that other toy you were just showing. Damn, what was it?
So
It's not Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not Gundam, it's
Digimon.
not, maybe. Do a Digimon poster.
Digimon
movie. No. Fuck, what was it, bro? Beyblade is the one where you like spin the thing, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And didn't, like, in the shows, did those become monsters or something? Or is it literally just the spinning top?
Yo, this is gonna piss me off. Type in like what other
It's like on the tip
movies
of my tongue,
like
I think.
Transformers.
Oh my
Maybe.
god, I can picture.
Really, that's what I'm. Well, all right.
Hey, Google's pretty smart, man.
Movies.
I can picture
like
it, man.
Transform.
This is literally how I search up things every day.
Oh, it's Chappie.
It's Chappie. No, not Chappie. At least you have no.
No.
Maybe look up animated. Movies like Transformers animated, yeah.
And
Yeah. I'm not moving on from this until I figure out what the fuck I'm thinking of. Because it's like deep in my childhood. I can't even remember. Gundam, what did that say?
oh shoot. Voltron,
Power Rangers, Super Sentai. Go to images. Por favor. Keep going down. Beast Wars. Iron Giant. I don't see the movie poster. This is going to haunt me.
Was it a cartoon originally?
Now I'm confusing myself because I can't even remember.
No.
I just remember the poster.
What was the poster like?
Like a tall, like looking like Optimus Prime kind of.
Yeah.
But a little bit different. And was animated. That's about all I got for you, bro. It's like very distant in my memory.
That is very distant. That might be a little bit too distant. Do you know when you will remember this though? It's gonna be on a random Thursday night. You're about to fall asleep, and then your brain just gonna, and I'm gonna get a text message in the middle of the night. I fucking remember.
Yeah, hopefully it'll come to me. I know tonight it's not gonna let me sleep, so I'm gonna be looking it up, man. I'll remember eventually.
You're gonna be distracted this whole podcast.
Literally, bro. I can't even move on from it. Digimon, Gundam, Voltron, Power Rangers.
I don't even know what
It almost looked like a Lego figure in a way.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, thank you. Okay. If Law feels it, then we're
No,
keep going.
I feel it.
Look up maybe animated movies like Transformers,
I
Lego,
feel like it started
kind
with
of.
a T too.
T?
I feel like it started with a T.
Transformers.
You know, imagine.
But animated movies like Transformers, Lego kind of.
Hold on, look up Transformers. Let's see if that's it.
Was it just Transformers?
No. It's not Transformers.
Don't listen to me.
Go back to whatever the last
Oh
thing
my
you did
god,
was.
somebody's gonna be watching this and they're gonna know it and they're gonna be like, "It's fucking this."
Well, they're gonna have to be patient with us, or we don't start the podcast
Hold-
yet. Maybe
look,
we take all this out.
Do like a 2008 Cartoon Network toys.
Oh no, earlier maybe like 2003.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cartoon
Was it Cartoon Network? type
Robot.
Network shows.
thing? In disguise.
Yeah, but you got to
Cartoon
do
Network show.
robot
Transformers.
animated.
Robot
Really help out Google here.
animated.
2003.
Robot
no,
Jones.
not Robot Jones.
This Starboy, Astro Boy.
No, go to Google Images so I can see everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna know by a name. No,
Bumper.
none of that. Fuck.
Oh
okay.
my God, Robot Boy.
Where's
I remember
my
this show.
phone, bro? We're not fucking starting this podcast until I know this.
This Symbionic.
No.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Come on. Yes,
Bionicles.
Yes, this is what I was thinking of. They came in the bottles. Yes.
Yo, you're a god,
Dude.
I knew it.
Yo, the second I saw
Yes.
Bionic something, I was like, oh my God.
Bionic.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a relief.
Yeah.
Dang,
bro.
gave me. Yes.
Dude, this is exactly what I was picturing. Yes.
Now look at Bionicle movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, this does look like some Transformer stuff, right?
Keep going down.
Wow.
I want to see if it's not that one. Keep going.
Bionicles.
Oh man.
Wow,
I'm
dude, I
so
completely forgot this was a thing.
No, none of those posters look like it. I know it's Bionicle now,
Yeah.
but dude,
This one?
no. Maybe it was a show then. Oh, bro, I'm so happy you
Oh
just.
my
Oh,
God.
Lego Bionicle, maybe.
It just came up on my Google search too.
What,
Bionicles.
dude? What a relief.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
one of those maybe.
Yeah.
But the important thing is now we know what the fuck it is.
Yeah. I kept picturing that bottle that it comes in, like the can,
Oh,
the cylinder.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, it had like
Bro,
the cap
you're
on
taking me down memory lane.
it. Yeah, it came in like a cylinder type thing.
Yeah.
and you would build it.
Oh
Yes,
my
right there.
god.
Yes.
That's nuts, bro. So Lego did do something with them. Thank God. Damn.
Bring
I'm
'em
gonna-
back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch Bionicles
They had a
tonight.
whole show and everything.
Yeah, they were everywhere. Man.
What the
At
fuck
they were
happened to
everywhere at the time.
Bionicles? Like, I feel like this should have worked. Damn, bro. That's classic.
If they make a Bionicle movie now,
Yeah, it's
that can-
time. Now
that
it's
can-
time.
that can
We
pick
gotta
up
bring
some-
it back, bro. Oh my God.
that can pick up some steam.
Hell yeah. I'm so into Legos too. I've been doing a lot of Legos. I did Captain Rex from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
He just appeared in Ahsoka. Oh my God, I can't
Oh
wait to
my
talk about that
God.
later. Oh my God.
I know like you're like getting into Clone Wars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like for me, who watched like sitting on my bunk bed every week watching Clone Wars episodes over and over and over again, seeing Rex in live action was just, oh my God.
I can't even imagine what it
I
would be like
teared up.
in your
I
shoes.
teared up a little bit.
Yeah. I don't really have a comparison like that. I think I'm that embedded with Marvel since I watched it when I was young. We're going to talk about the new Spider-Man game that's coming out. So Spider-Man kind of gives me that feel. But there aren't many things that I can like connect back to my childhood that's coming out now that it's pop culture, like Star
Yeah.
Wars is right now. So,
Ugh.
Ledge, I'm so happy for you, brother.
It
And
was
thank you so
incredible,
much for
man.
getting me into Star Wars because you're like...
I know it was a tough task.
I watched all the
It was a
movies
tough task.
on my own.
Yeah.
Before we even got into the whole Star Wars conversation. But you made me watch Clone Wars, Rebels. I got into Andor, every Mando, everything because of him. Really deeper beyond the movies.
Yeah.
It was a push. It was a genuine effort.
You fought
know?
hard, man. You fought hard, and you won the war.
And I knew it would be worth it for you. I
Yeah.
knew you.
And
would.
it absolutely has been.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I actually wanted to show you guys this. I know you boys have seen it, but people
Yeah.
out there, I got the
Look at
honor
that
to
beauty.
go to a limited screening of Ahsoka Episode 5, which was probably one of the most incredible experiences that I've had in the theater for sure.
Wow.
Up there with Infinity War, Endgame, Interstellar, movies like that.
So that was actually going to be my question. I mentioned to you before. I actually had a question about that. Was is like, do you think it was worth it seeing that in theaters? Because
Hell
yes.
I'm watching the episode and I'm trying to picture how it would be in the theaters, surrounded by people screaming and like when the like certain scenes pop up or like those whales thing, I'm imagine the people going crazy on the certain scenes and everything. So I'm like, I was just wondering, I was like, dang, like was it worth it to go to the theaters and wait in line?
Yeah, because
all
it
those
was
hours?
because it was a limited screening. You get that like day one culture that you get from seeing a movie.
Yeah.
Like that first showing on that first night for any big movie is awesome. Anything after that is you're mixing with a lot of casuals, so they're not as excited or familiar. But those first screenings, kind of like the limited screening I did, everybody is so excited, clapping at every moment, gasping, screaming, cheering, clapping. I mean, standing up, and people brought lightsabers. There's
saw
multiple
that.
people dressed in Anakin. Oh man, it was amazing. We got these free posters, which I was so happy to have.
So jealous.
And then Bella and I got the long drive home, so like 45 minutes because we had to go to Somerville. So we just got to like sit in the car and talk about it and just soak it in. We came back home, put it on again, and then we started watching. I think I did Tales of the Jedi, 2 episodes that Ahsoka's in. I did a little bit of Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, because I thought that honestly, this was Hayden Christensen's best performance as Anakin Skywalker.
Yes.
That
And I
was really
thought
good.
not just his acting, but the writing, the script was so much better. He felt so powerful. He felt so in control of his emotions. I feel like it made sense for those early movies to make him feel kind of sporadic with his emotions because he's young. So not taking anything away from that, but it was nice to see a more evolved Anakin, because if anything, at this point that we see him in the show, he's already experienced everything. This is Anakin who has already been Vader, who has already passed away. So he has all of those memories into one person.
Yeah.
And man, what a fucking performance to get the Clone War flashbacks, Anakin's performance. Oh, it's seeing young Ahsoka.
Honestly, just
insane,
hearing
man.
Anakin, hearing Hayden Christensen just speak and just his voice, it just sounded so like, oh, like I kind of miss this. I kind of miss hearing him talk and say new lines. Yeah,
It felt right.
Yep.
And I mean the transitions between Anakin and then quickly jump to Vader and then back to Anakin and
Incredible,
the
man.
transformation.
moments, too.
His eyes going from that red back to his regular and kind of seeing his face almost even transform back to normal.
That little
was
part,
gorgeous.
what an incredible performance, man.
Yeah.
To display those different emotions. And not was it just that he was Sith and then went back to normal. There was a slow, like, gradient change between him from Sith coming slowly back and then resetting and then becoming back to himself.
Yeah.
It was incredible performance. But going back to those flashbacks, imagine that in the theater, bro.
Yeah.
Right when it first happened. Oh my God.
Yep.
So loud, everyone clapping, goosebumps. Bella cried. I got pretty teary. Man, just so beautiful, and it's freshly coming off of Obi-Wan too, and getting to see Hayden and be like, oh man, I want more. I can't wait to see more.
Yeah.
And for us to get this within the year, I think it's been what a treat, man. Star Wars is doing the right thing right now.
Do you think Obi-Wan would have hit the same way if they released some episodes in theaters?
Yeah, episode 5 for
Yeah.
sure. When they battle and he cuts off his mask, would definitely hit in theaters.
Yeah, that would be the only episode for me.
Yeah.
But I think that whole series is a problem. That's really the only good episode, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
very overrated series.
yeah,
I understand where all the hype comes from because it's Vader, it's Obi-Wan, it's everything that the OG fans like really want to follow up with.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, the series was kind of mid.
yeah.
It was
There's
it,
a
it
lot
was
of
it was mid
overhype.
with like extremely good moments.
Yeah.
That was it.
There's
You
a
know,
lot of
that's-
overhype with Star Wars fans. I mean, even on episode 4, where we got teased with Anakin at the end, people on Twitter X were saying that it's the best episode, best thing Star Wars has done, 10 out of 10. I'm like, that's the ceiling for you guys? And then people were responding who had already maybe seen it episode 5 early or something, were teasing, and they were like, if you think this is a 10 out of 10, just wait till next week. So it just shows like people's scales are off, when they get
Yeah.
excited, everything is the best. But episode 5 was the best thing we've gotten from Star Wars in many years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, Andor, of course, is great, but this speaks to the origins, the characters that we grew up watching, and Ahsoka being able to interact with Anakin on live action when so many people like Law have grown up seeing Ahsoka just animated and seeing their connection together just animated. You know, we didn't get to see Ahsoka in any of the live action movies.
And seeing Ahsoka young again in that or like original kind of form that they had on the animations.
Yep.
That was interesting as well.
Yeah.
And they tied in to the Siege of Mandalore too, which was so incredible. Getting to see Maul's elite troopers. Oh, I mean, just little details like that. The seeing the clones with Ahsoka's face paint run through, small details like that. On the other hand, my only problem with this episode was the volume.
The volume.
Really? Yeah, like on those Clone Wars flashbacks, like it just felt. I understand, like it just didn't seem like too much of a setting. I understand it's just like a dream, but or not a flashback. But
I agree.
I just wish there was more.
I don't feel like complaining about the volume today, but yeah, I mean, it's what we've said, you know.
I mean,
like,
we touched
Star Wars
on it.
would be much better in a natural setting with a real set and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've said this.
Yeah, now we're a little used to the volume, so it is what it is, and we still got some beautiful cinematography. I mean, those shots of Vader from the back when he switches the first time, and Ahsoka's dealing with those thoughts of, man, what he becomes. And then later when he does it while he's attacking her. So powerful, man. Those scenes were incredible. And there's so much that you can really take from that episode. I mean, me and Bella were dissecting it for like 3 hours. Just because it felt, at the moment, it felt so deep and just picking apart everything that was happening. With Ahsoka dealing with what Anakin eventually became. And when you watch Rebels, it wasn't really that long ago that she fought him. And she's dealing with the aftermath of those feelings of why he's still alive. I battled him. I can't believe that he really turned into who he is. So she's dealing with all of those demons and being like, well, if I'm part of your legacy, then what does that mean for my future? Do I become as destructive and as powerful as you were? And when she questions that, he gets upset because he's like, is this what this is about? You're not getting it, because Anakin did a lot of great before he became Vader, you know, and Anakin was really, like they say in the OGs, was killed by Vader. You know, Anakin was manipulated by the dark side and Palpatine, and really a lot of who he became is because of Palpatine's strategy over the years and manipulation. So him becoming Vader, yes, is pivotal and is sad and everything, but he did so much before he was Vader, you know, and just because he became Vader, that's not all that he is. And that's what he was trying to teach her. And that just because I fell doesn't mean you will either. And it just goes, I was thinking about this earlier today too, like, because I often go back and think, like, where did it all go wrong for Anakin? You know, what were those big decisions that affected who he eventually became? And there's so many things you can point to. Like I just said, Palpatine's manipulation, you know, Obi-Wan raising him instead of Qui-Gon. But it really goes back to, and this is what I thought about today, was when he was Phantom Menace and he's a little kid. And they think about bringing him to the Jedi. And I don't remember exactly who says it, but there was fear that he's too old. He knows the feeling of attachment. He knows the feeling and understanding of love. That is not a good thing to have when you're trying to be a Jedi, because you have to live without that. You know, you have to be completely selfless. Yeah. So that was really where the mistake was made. They should have seen, okay, he's too old. It's too late for him. He has too much attachment. Yeah. They should have just left him at home.
I think that was the Jedi Council.
Was it the Jedi Council?
I think it was
Mace.
Maybe Mace Windu.
I think it was Mace
Windu. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But I think Obi-Wan had those feelings too.
Convinced him.
Yeah.
It took like some convincing.
Yeah, I think Obi-Wan was against it too at first. But
Yeah.
incredible, man.
Yeah.
Incredible show.
It's so hard to pick out problems in that show. Like even with the volume, it's a reach. Like
Yeah.
with how perfect that episode really was.
Yeah, and
Dave Filoni, man.
yeah, incredible. His writing is really good.
Yeah,
And that was the other thing that I
incredible.
noticed in the episode too that I kind of mentioned earlier with Anakin and Hayden is the lines feel much more like Anakin than they do sometimes in the prequels because
Yeah.
I think George had this sometimes he would lean into like Shakespeare and type of language and very like dramatic, and sometimes it didn't really hit as well.
Didn't feel natural.
Didn't
in a
feel
way,
as
yeah.
natural and like true to these characters. So this time I think that's why it really felt like a fully formed Anakin because the speech made more sense, the dialogue, all of those decisions really came together. And it's Dave Filoni, you know, Dave Filoni wrote and produced that episode. I mean, he's produced the whole series, but this one he's had a lot more of his hand on.
Yeah.
Then I don't even think he was involved with Obi-Wan at all. Was he? Did he do an Obi-Wan episode? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So, you know, this is really his baby, and he is the one that first drew Ahsoka. Obviously, George Lucas was the person who had the idea for Ahsoka, but, you know, he was there writing her character, writing her lines, drawing her. So for him to get to take it to live action and write out the dialogue and the interactions with Anakin, and he did Clone Wars, so it's crazy.
Yeah, he's not listed on the. On
Yeah,
the
I didn't
list
think
that I've
so.
seen.
But imagine if he did Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan would have been so much better. They would have
Yeah.
cut out so much of the bullshit of that show.
It had a lot of potential.
It did, but it was way too much about what's her face?
Leia.
No, yeah, partially,
Oh,
but the sister,
third sister.
the third sister,
Yeah.
the main villain.
Too much of her. Like
Too
her
much.
character would have been great if they didn't like shove her
Down
so
our
much.
throats, yeah. Yeah, like
It was
look how
just
far
too
she
much.
came, and then it's like, oh guys, guess what? She was a youngling
Yeah.
in the Jedi Temple that night. It's like, okay,
Face to face with Anakin, got
that
stabbed.
yeah, that doesn't make me like her anymore. I know you tried, but you should have just cut her out of the whole show. To be honest, that's what made the show bad.
I would
in my
have been.
opinion.
I would have been fine with her just being less.
I didn't have any problem with Leia actually in the show. I know a lot of people
Leia?
did, but
I was
didn't
talking
mind
about
her.
the third sister.
No, I know, but you
Oh, okay.
mentioned Leia a second
Yeah.
ago because I know other people have had
I
issues
didn't mind
with
her
Leia.
either. I didn't mind her either.
Man, I thought she was fine.
Yeah.
Especially the child actor that played there. I think she did a great job.
Me too. I
Yeah.
thought it was a great performance.
Yeah.
Some of them were like, "Oh, she's a little too annoying." She's a little. I'm like, bro, she's a kid.
Yeah.
And for a kid actor, she's not even the worst one. I mean,
Definitely not.
I mean, the one I was gonna comment actually in Ahsoka, the child actor, the one that plays whatever that woman's son is. He whenever he says a line, I'm kind of like, it just bothers me. It doesn't hit right. It doesn't
Yeah.
hit natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
It is a kid, but still.
when he said, "I got a bad feeling
Yeah.
about this,"
that was definitely
I cringed.
a bad way to start.
That was a
He
bad
got
one.
better over time a little bit because
Yeah.
then I started being more committed to feeling like, okay, maybe he's just like a little weird. And then that kind of made it easier to hear his dialogue. But
Maybe the character
I get
is
what
just
you're
cringy
saying.
itself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, the character's weird. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of immersed myself. Like, he's supposed to play someone weird.
He's playing a homeschool kid. Oh, all right. It makes sense.
If you're watching and you're homeschooled, we love you.
No. I know some homeschooled people. They leaned into it. They was like, "Yeah, I'm homeschooled, and I'm not weird." And I'm like, "Yeah, you are."
Oh shit, man!
Love
And it's
homeschool people.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that we, like I said this last week, Ahsoka. The next episode is tomorrow, and we can't talk about it for
I
a week.
know, it's brutal.
Like if we recorded this that same night when I came back from Ahsoka, oh my god, we'd been
Yeah.
here for like 3 hours because I could have just talked nonstop. It's like now a week later, I've kind of dissected it,
Digested,
I've digested it, and now it's like I'm not feeling those emotions as pure as I was
Yeah.
before. So a little hard to articulate, but what
You
a
get the
great
raw
episode,
vibe now.
huh?
You get the raw feeling of it now. You don't get that hype. You don't
Yeah,
get
but
that
the hype
and
is so
then-
nice, bro. Oh, it feels so fucking good, man. It feels so good. It was so rewarding. The last thing I wanted to say about Ahsoka is they definitely are building it more like in tune with the way Andor was released, where it's really actually building up to something, and that's been nice.
Yeah.
I feel like Mando at times has struggled to do that. Obi-Wan struggled to do that, I think, as well. And Andor had a phenomenal ending. Those first like 2-3 episodes were a little rough, and then it started to pick up.
Yep.
And that made the whole series worth it. So Ahsoka's kind of turning out like that a little bit. It started a little kind of like, oh, yeah. But it's because Ahsoka has to go on her hero journey. You know, now she's dressed in all white. She's fully in tune with the Force again. She feels like she has conviction now, knows what her purpose is, and is chasing that. So now her character can actually move forward. Before it was like, all right, let's show that she's been stuck for a little bit. You know? Seeing Anakin and stuff like that has really fucked her up, which is completely valid. Completely valid. She probably feels so much regret. Like she could have saved him. She could have been a part of helping him come back to, you know, the light. But that didn't end up happening.
Nope.
It's two very different styles of show as well. More or less, Ahsoka and Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. Because Mandalorian, at least for, I forgot which season was. If it was 2 or 3. Right? Because there's been three seasons, right?
Now.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it was 2 or 3, but I think like you were saying, there wasn't much of a story following along everything else. It kind of seemed like, I think it might have been 2.
I think it was 2.
Episodes were kind of just each its own little story, and it just ends, and it was kind of like the episode where there's it's not the AT-AT, the walking robot one. That was terrorizing the village. ATST.
Yeah.
That was a cool episode. I actually enjoyed that episode.
Yeah.
Seeing the eyes and that ATST.
Coming
but that
out
was
of
like
the forest.
Yeah, like more or less separate from the rest of the story. And like it's kind of like little side missions that he does.
Yep.
Versus a whole thing, which is kind of like I actually kind of like that as well to a certain point.
The first 2 seasons of Clone Wars is like that, but with each episode. So it becomes really annoying because it's like there's no arc here at all.
Yeah.
They don't pick up from each episode. But then 3 to the rest, like there's 3 episode arcs, 4 episode arcs within the seasons, which are really nice.
Yeah.
So if you like that kind of feel, I think you'd really like Clone Wars.
Oh, I know I'm gonna like Clone Wars,
Especially into season 3. And then once you get like season 4, season 5, that's when the animation gets really nice.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful. 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 I don't know if you've seen Tales of the Jedi at all, but that's another short animated episodes that they released like last year or something. Each episode's like 10, 12 minutes max. Yeah. And that is like peak animation. Yeah. It looks
no, that's not true. I think I watched the very first one. Like I think the episode that
Ahsoka's origin.
I don't know. It wasn't. It was whatever one that had the one with that lightsaber that was like looked like an umbrella.
Lightsaber that looked like an umbrella.
You lost me on that one.
Lightsaber.
It might not be what I'm.
That looked like an umbrella.
Lightsaber that looked like an umbrella.
No, it wasn't this then. It was another
it can't
thing.
be Tales of the Jedi. But someone has a lightsaber that's an umbrella? That's pretty interesting.
Imagine. Palpatine. It's just a cane.
Just starts floating.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
It looked very anime. It was black and white, more or less. It was very anime style.
Dooku's is kind of curved. Or Ventress, maybe?
Ventress is curved.
Yeah. Ventress and Dooku.
I don't know what you're thinking of, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely not a umbrella-shaped one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, while you're looking that up, any final thoughts, Law, on Ahsoka?
I'm just so excited, man.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We're filling it. I could go on
forever
and on and on.
Forever.
I just don't want. I don't want to get wound up because if I get wound up, we've spent about enough time on this.
Well, I'm pretty wound up.
I'm wound up too.
I'm pretty fucking wound up, and I'm excited, and I have high expectations. I'm so fully excited. Sold on Dave Filoni.
Yes.
Whatever he wants, just fucking do it.
Yes.
And this is all culminating to a movie as well. The Mando, everything that they've been building these last few years, it's all building to this. Boba Fett. So whatever movie he's got planned and he's working towards, because he has the long game. So all of this writing with these episodes is to build up to a moment. And whatever moment he has is going to be fucking crazy. This is Samurai Star Wars? The fuck is this?
Visions. That's what it was. I watched one episode of this already, and
I didn't even watch Visions. Yeah.
So I watched only this episode. It was like kind of shorts,
What
but it was like
the
a.
frick is that?
It was actually really cool.
It's
Bro,
a
there's like-
legitimate anime style.
yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah. It was very anime, and it was.
I didn't know
very
you
samurai.
didn't know about this. I would have.
I've heard about this, but I've never seen that saber, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, you had a good one there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
where
hold on,
was
let
it?
me Go back.
Go down again. There was like they had bottom right.
This one.
Yeah, what? The zoom in on that shit.
That's insane. I've never even.
Did you watch this episode?
Visions is not something I've gotten into now.
Really? Oh, okay. It was really cool. I gotta admit, even the fighting in this, the whole episode, it's like a short episode. It was like very like pretty much just like a fight scene almost, but it was very cool.
Can I see a YouTube video of those lightsabers in action? I just want to see what that looks like.
Yeah. Hold on.
That looks insane.
I-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lightsabers. I mean,
I like when characters have multiple lightsabers.
I want to know how this character died because that's kind of fucking pathetic. You should be immortal. There's no way.
Eat
Who the fuck would
lightsabers.
stop you?
Do you know what I was thinking? Was
Does it spin like the Inquisitors?
yeah, yeah. Do you know what I was thinking? How did General Grievous? No, General Grievous. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, multiple.
He was like, oh, like he trained with the best Jedi, and he's got 4 lightsabers, and he got his arms taken out mad quick, and I'm like,
He survived for a long time. If you watch
Yeah,
Clone
if
Wars,
you watch Clone Wars, he should have died multiple times.
bro, they were chasing him on. I can't even tell you how many missions in that fucking show. Like
Yeah.
literally 10 missions where they're chasing him, they fight him, and he just keeps escaping.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's so annoying.
So
it made his death really rewarding. In
Exactly.
The
If anything, it validates like, okay, he was actually really fucking hard to kill.
Yeah.
Obi and Anakin were chasing him for a long time before episode 3 when he finally dies.
we can probably cut this out if this might get us, copy striking. But
Just go to when it happens.
no, but ready? Yeah.
You just never die. Damn, this animation looks sick, bro. I'm Mary Poppins, bitch. Oh!
I'll kill you.
Oh! Okay, just wanted to kind of keep it simple.
Yo,
Okay,
we
interesting.
might have to watch.
Yeah,
that
what the
really
fuck?
was sick.
That's definitely not canon, though, right?
No, I
There's
don't
no
think
way.
so. I don't think so. But it's still sick.
No, it was very cool.
Look up Star Wars Visions canon, just to make sure.
If it is, we're gonna
can't
have to
be.
watch this immediately.
I'm watching this now.
I think you should still watch it now. That would look sick.
Oh wait, no, I already have it typed in.
Dude, that looked really nice.
What did you-
Tell me Google is not part of the official canon,
Yeah.
but it consistently proves it should be.
Damn.
Visions has the unique ability to expand the universe and provide much needed diversity in characters and creators alike. Which, with connections to the larger franchise, Visions fits in with the established stories. Interesting. There's so much that they retconned from Star Wars. There's a lot of books and comics and stuff.
Yeah, ton of content.
Yeah, there's a book I was watching when I was looking into Ahsoka stuff. There's a book that covers when Vader realizes that Ahsoka's alive. Was that what it was about? It was something like that.
He has that moment on screen though.
He does. He says, he says the Padawan lives or whatever.
The
But
Padawan lives.
there's another. Oh, I just watched it. Now I'm confusing
That
it.
was
It's
more
whatever.
Bane.
But there's a lot of like movies that covers a lot of the stuff that happens off screen and books that I really want to get into. I've been highly considering getting into Star Wars comics.
Yeah,
Which I
I've
think
been
will-
thinking about it too.
Just going to Vader ones.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would fucking blow through those shits.
There is some crazy. I've watched like YouTube videos on those comics.
Yeah.
And there's some. If they're canon, there's some pretty insane moments in those comics.
Well, there are some that I think are still considered canon, but most of them,
Yeah, that's
Have
what
been
I'm.
retconned.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Well, hopefully, also there has been a lot of. So in episode 4, we didn't talk about Ahsoka uses Force Echo, which has been shown in the video games.
Loved
Calcastus does. There's a few things that tie to Calcastus we've talked about.
Yeah.
Off camera, we've talked about how the hidden passage that is talked about in Star Wars Jedi Survivor happens in the Obi-Wan show. There's a lot of similarities in some of the scenes. So, hopefully that continues to connect the game. The next one that comes out hopefully continues to cement that character. We eventually get Cal Kestis hanging out with Ahsoka.
I hope so.
And Grogu at the same time.
That would be so awesome.
I think that's the movie.
There's
that's got to be the movie.
Did you see this the theory where when Mando's in what's it called?
No idea.
Hyperspace? Is that what it is? I'm sorry.
Oh, Grogu. Yeah.
Yeah, where
when Grogu, they're going
looks out
through
the window
hyperspace.
and the Purgle is in the shadow. Oh my gosh.
So the thing that they wrote on to go through hyperspace, right? To go to hyperspeed.
The whale.
The big ass whale thing.
Yeah.
In one of the Mando episodes, when Grogu and Mando are going through hyperspace, they see those whales, or Grogu sees those whales off in the distance, also traveling through hyperspeed. So there's a theory that Grogu knows that it's Ahsoka.
He senses her.
He senses her traveling there, and that could potentially be a setup for Grogu's next big mission, which is potentially to defeat Thrawn, because I think that's what it's going to be. The movie's going to be Thrawn's the big bad. He's back. Obviously, we know he doesn't end up ruling because we know the First Order ends up being the next establishment. So we know he loses, but we never get to see how.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're building to with Grogu, Mando, Ahsoka, Cal Kestis, fucking Boba
lineup.
Fett, all of them, everybody.
What a lineup.
And it should be dope. It should be dope.
I
And
can't
there could probably be a few more cameos. And I like that they're setting it up too, because
taking their time with it.
After Endgame, how many movies, shows did we see where people just try to do multiverse and all the fucking same heroes in one movie? Like, bro, it worked because we built up 10 years to it.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking decide tomorrow that you want to put all your favorite fucking superheroes in one movie. It doesn't work like that.
I hated Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. The very first Suicide Squad. The second one was all right. Also not that good in my opinion. But the first Suicide Squad I thought was a disgrace. Even.
Well, same thing with DC. Like, they tried to do the Justice League right off the bat, and it didn't fucking work. It took Zack Snyder making a 4-hour version for it to be pretty good. Actually, really good. It was very... did you see it?
Pretty good.
You saw the black and white?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. Especially compared to the original. Like, he did way better compared to the original.
Yeah, no.
The original was literally a fucking trash can.
No, yeah. Better, definitely better than the original. But still, like, in my eyes, it was pretty good.
But to that point, like, they rushed into all of those decisions.
Yeah.
I'm really talking about DC. But, Marvel is Disney and Star Wars is Disney. So I think the Disney execs realized the success that they had with the 10-year game of Avengers. And they say, let's apply that method to Star Wars.
Yep.
Let's start building out these singular characters. Instead of doing like an Iron Man movie, we're going to do an Ahsoka show. We're going to do a Mando show. And we're going to build them out, because now TV shows are the meta, not movies, because you get so much more context. They're so much more enjoyable. They probably make more money because you don't extend them just to one release date. You get to stretch it out over multiple weeks and build that audience. So it's the fucking meta, and now Star Wars is doing it, and I think they're going to build up to something spectacular with this Dave Filoni movie.
As soon as I saw Jon Favreau switch over, I knew that it was a pretty good indication where this was going.
Yep, man. He's the one who directed the first Iron Man. So now you get the person that started that journey now over in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
But with this different universe.
He's
it's
a
the
wizard.
strat, man. It's the strat, and I
just
know
got
that.
so excited just thinking about
And
it.
they've pretty much confirmed that Rey is going to get a trilogy. So, and that's going to take place after the most recent trilogy that we got. So after episode 9, so we'll start with 10, 11, 12. I don't know if it's going to be part of the Skywalker saga. I'm assuming, because after episode 9, or in episode 9, she said she took on the Skywalker name, so now she's a Skywalker, I guess, whatever. But even in that, we're going to get probably Ahsoka, Grogu, all of them, unless they all die in that movie. And that's why we never see them, in interacting with Rey and stuff in the newer trilogy. So
Everybody's dead.
yeah, a lot of theories, a lot of questions. I'm really fucking excited for Star Wars. For anyone that's not plugged into Star Wars, I hope you're fucking
You gotta
planning
catch up,
on
man.
tuning in, because it's a good ride, and there's so much to watch if you haven't been a part of the journey. I understand, but it's
Oh, I understand as
it's gonna be worth the ride.
It's
It's like
tough,
trying to tell
man.
someone to get
Yeah.
into Marvel right now. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, put aside 400 hours. It's a
Especially when they
lot.
started pumping out those shows, that's when it's like, dude, even I got hell. I was fairly caught up in everything. I was able to keep up. They started pumping out shows, and I'm like, you kind of lost me on that one.
Yeah,
I
man.
got left in the weeds in that one.
Yeah, they went kind of crazy with that, man. They got kind of crazy with that. I hope they start doing some shows with some more main characters. You know, I know they have the Cap show, but like, imagine if we got a Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
Like, that would be sick. But fuck, Universal will never let that happen. All those copyrights, man.
Well, you're
That
gonna have to
sucks.
settle for the games.
Which is gonna be insane. October 20. Can I get a confirmation on that? October 20th, I believe, is Spider-Man 2. Man, it looks amazing. They've doubled the size of the map. They've included Queens and Brooklyn now. You can instantly transition between Miles Morales and Peter Parker. They all have their separate missions, separate gadgets. There's up to 60 suits, but 200 different combinations of suits that you can create with the characters.
Yeah, October 20th.
It's said to be a similar length as the first Spider-Man, so there's going to be a lot of content, and now there's 2 characters worth of content, so there's going to be so many side missions, and even more villains. So I'm really, really excited about this game. Also, they've included now, with this Spider-Man, they've optimized it for PS5, so ray tracing is something that automatically happens with whatever setting you choose on the game, whether you go for performance or you go for graphics. Ray tracing is on it no matter what. So before, people would shut off ray tracing to save on frames.
Yeah.
Now they've embedded it so that the ray tracing is going to have good frames. It's all a part of trying to make it run smoother. So
It's about time.
it's about time. They're doing it at the right time with the right game.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I'm so excited to play this game. My plan is that week I'm going to, on launch day, I'm going to go 4 days straight streaming 10 hours to beat it and to 100% it.
Yes,
And then walk
classic
away.
Atlas. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going straight
Back
off
to the
Back to
roots.
the OG streamer days.
because I can't stretch it out. Like, after it's done, I'm not going to stream for whatever the next game is.
Yeah.
But I can't stretch it. I can't be like, I'm going to play like 2 hours today, 3 hours tomorrow. It's like, fuck, it takes 3 years to beat a game now. You
Yeah.
just got to do it in one sitting. And when I first got the first Spider-Man, that's how I did it. I did 2 days in a row, like 14-hour shifts, like just fucking there, bro. Piss bucket, fridge right there. And I just went crazy. So this next one, I'm going to do the same thing. Spider-Man's my shit, man. I got a fucking Spider-Man helmet right
Yeah.
here. I'm locked in, man. It's half the reason. No, not half. It's about 90% of the reason I love the color red. The other would be a Ferrari. That car growing up was just always like, oh, the red. It just
Really?
looks so beautiful. Yeah. Spider-Man, Ferrari.
I'm surprised you don't have a Spider-Man tattoo.
I plan on getting one. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You should do like his eyes around your eyes.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a great idea. No. I thought about doing maybe one of his logos, but then that feels a little tacky. I want it to like either be a moment or just a kind of nod to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to just like put his face or something like that. There's actually, I didn't tell you this, but I mentioned that I'm getting a tattoo soon, right?
Oh,
So
no,
I'm-
I didn't know
I
that.
think I mentioned it a few podcasts ago, but I
Yeah, it
told
was
you
a-
I wasn't going to say what
It was
it
a few
is.
weeks,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But I'll just fucking tell you. So I'm going to get a Dragon Ball Z tattoo.
Ooh.
And it's
The
going to
stars?
be of Teen
I
Gohan
don't remember.
when he's fighting Cell and he first reaches Super Saiyan 2, which is the level he needed to reach in order to beat Cell. And there's a moment where he snaps, and that's when he reaches his full potential. And that moment in that scene where like a red line goes across the screen and like goes to black,
Yeah.
that exact scene is what I want to get here. Just so that way it like captures a moment in time, you know?
Yeah.
So Spider-Man, I'd want to do something similar. I'm going to get the Atlas logo probably on my forearm, but I kind of want to build around it first and then make that like the
Yeah.
bold center somewhere. Did you see
really cool.
there was a UFC fighter recently who did a Superman tattoo, and then but it had like the Brazilian flag in it or something like that. It looked
Oh, really?
really cool. Yeah, he fought, I think the last card that you came late for when you came for the
Dos
Thai fight.
Santos?
I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Pedro.
Scrawny
It
guy?
might have been Pedro, which is hilarious, fam. Because your name is, guess what?
Pedro.
Pedro.
No, it's not. It's
Oh.
fam. Shut up.
Damn.
Yeah, man, I got to get on my tattoos. I've been talking about getting tattoos for a long time, and I got to get more. After getting this rose, I'm like, man, I want more. I want more. Oh, man. But I can't wait for this game. Law, I know you're probably not going to play, fam.
Nope.
Maybe.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, not you either. But it's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Mortal Kombat is actually coming out tomorrow. I might
that one's
play
good.
it because
Yeah, you
a
should
lot of those
stream.
finishers are dope. I thought about playing it tomorrow because it looks dope. The finishers look great. There's a story to it, which I love. It's just with fighting games, it's like once I go through it, I like never go back to it again.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, man, why can't it just be on fucking Game Pass? Save all my money. Not yet, though. We'll get there in time.
Yeah, fighting games, they're cool to play. Not much streaming games. There's a couple games that I don't think are good for streaming. It's fighting games, racing games. I don't really think they're that good for streaming.
Depending on who you ask, I mean, there's a lot more. Like people would say story games aren't good, stream games.
Yeah.
Like it has to be a multiplayer game because that way there's high action happening constantly so
Yeah.
that people can keep their attention.
And then like different things happen. You can be playing the same exact map, same exact game mode with the same people, but different things are going to happen every time you play an
Exactly.
online game. So it makes sense.
Exactly.
But
So
yeah.
technically Spider-Man 2 is not a game I should stream, but
Damn.
I'm going to play it in fucking 14 hours straight, so I might as well just stream it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm going to go hard.
Nah, then story games people are interested in, especially people that like me that aren't gonna play the game. I'm gonna tune in for the stream because like yeah, I still am curious to see what happens in the game, how the game is.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna personally take time out to actually play the game myself. I'd rather just watch someone else do it.
Yeah,
have it in the background and
I played the first one on stream, but when Miles Morales came out, that was my first week of streaming, my first week of creating this YouTube channel. So it's kind of like embedded in the page, you know.
Yeah.
So whenever Spider-Man game comes out, I have to play it. I just fucking have to, and they're so fun, man. So I can't wait for that. Mortal Kombat should be cool. I've been thinking more and more about getting back into Starfield because I kind of miss the vibes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
I
so
just
good,
wish
man.
I had an Xbox so I could play it on my TV because it doesn't feel like a game that I want to sit here on my monitor and play on my computer. It's like I want to be on the couch,
The big
mad
screen,
dark,
yeah.
big screen,
That's
traveling
how
through
I play it
planets.
too. Yeah, I'm lounging mainly.
Yeah, I might get an Xbox for Christmas,
Yeah,
which is a little crazy because
You
I just
should.
got a new Nintendo Switch and like I already have everything I need. But I fucking think I might just.
you need.
do you
that.
have everything you need though? Because you don't have an Xbox.
That's why I'm getting it.
You need
I'm
that
sending this clip to Bella.
Sorry, Bella. My bad.
She's been mentioning it though, because sometimes I take the PS5 in here to use it for streaming, and then she's out there without like a console, and
Yeah.
the smart TV sucks with the apps. So she's like, "Oh, I wish we had another console out there so I could, do all the streaming shit or play a game." So I mean, it's another reason to get the fucking
Yeah.
Xbox,
Hey,
baby.
if she thinks you have too many consoles, get rid of your PS2 and then you get the Xbox.
and the original Xbox that's right behind you. I don't
Yeah.
even know if you
No,
can
no,
see
no,
it in
no,
the
just the
camera.
PS2.
No, you can't.
No,
I
never.
can bring it to my house if you want. I've been dying to steal your PS2 for mad long.
Yeah, if you want to borrow it, you can borrow it.
No, I'm not talking about borrowing. I'm talking about having it. I want it.
$10,000.
But I told Law as well, like I don't even know how many weeks I've been wanting to buy a PS2 so badly.
Yeah, I heard you talking to Eddie about it on Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, there's just so many games that PS2 where it was what I grew up playing.
Yeah.
And there's just so many games that I think are so much better than all the modern games that I've played.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, right here within my sight, there's something that I can't really see, but I see Need for Speed Underground 2, Madden 2003. I see Prince of Persia Sands of Time. I see
So-
Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Yeah.
What are those other two that I can't? Call of Duty 2.
So Mortal Kombat
And
Call of
Mortal
Duty
Kombat.
2, yeah. For me, Need for Speed Most Wanted and Need for Speed Underground. I've played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2.
Oh, fuck me.
Hot Pursuit 2, me and my brother played that game so much. We memorized maps.
Yep.
We can drive around that
Bro,
blindfolded.
do you remember how
thing.
fucking racing games felt as a kid, bro?
Yes.
I could play it for 1,000 hours straight.
To this day, my all-time favorite video game, and it's very like random, but it's shoot, what's it called?
Burnout, something like that.
No.
Oh, you said it on Wednesday too. Midnight Club.
Midnight Club.
Got you,
It's
baby.
Midnight Club Double Edition 3. I loved every single thing about that game. I loved how much you can customize the car to make it super personalized. I love how if you put it on a certain race mode, it could be super arcadey. There's power-ups, there's nitrous, freeze, pulse. But then if you take that off, it's just a regular racing game. I love how it felt arcadey, but at the same time felt a little bit realistic, the driving mechanics and things like that. I love that there was police. I love that it was open world. Everything I want in a racing game, that game had, and they haven't made a video game that's been as good as that.
Yep, it's because they've gone away from that.
Yeah.
They've gone away from that. What we want is GTA without getting out of your car.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how that game felt.
Exactly how that game felt.
My cousin and I, we would play that game all the time. We would have a little sleepover, and one day we were like, we put on a race. There's like our track of the city that we liked, and we put 99 laps. And we just stayed there driving. We were talking.
99 laps.
Bro, we were there for like hours. But it was cool because like
hold on, you know what that reminds me of? When I was a kid, I would do like FIFA matches full length, or Madden matches full length. I'd be there fucking for 2 hours playing one match. It's like
so it felt like a real game.
Fucking immersed. Or like when I'd play GTA and it would be a red light, I'd fucking pull up to that shit and stop.
Yeah.
Wait for the fucking pedestrians across the street. I get super immersed.
Well, I didn't do this, but my friend, he did this. Gran Turismo.
Oh, great game as well.
Excellent game. Also one of my favorite racing games.
They're doing a movie.
Yes.
It might have come out this summer already.
Yeah. But Gran Turismo, my friend did a thing where do you know the 24-hour Le Mans race? Or
yes, I've heard of it.
So he was doing something I think was very similar where they were doing a race with a ton of laps. I think it was like hours. And he said his friend, like it was him in a group, and they were doing just like the race where it's like you do certain laps. And then once you start getting tired, it's like, all right, I'm swapping now. And he was saying, it was like, after a while, you're not even like racing against other people. You're looking at your lap. And you're seeing yourself slowly improving your lap time. And then you're like, oh, bro, I did like 15 laps. I'm tired. Switch. And then they go into the pit. As the things are getting, they swap out the controller. No friend goes on. He starts driving. The other friend kind of goes, just sits, relaxed, takes a nap or whatever. And they do. I'm like, I miss the days of playing games with friends.
Oh, it's the best. That's why we started couch gaming. It's because of that feeling. I want that feeling again. I want that feeling of being with my brother. He's holding the controller. We're going through Prince of Persia story, and I'm here with the fucking cheat sheet. Like, hey, bro, you got to do this. Make sure you get this item. Like, those feelings, watching him play God of War, me playing God of War, and him being there, like, oh, those are just like prime child experiences that I have that, like, I'll never forget that feeling.
I think that's more or less when I started when video games started straying away from having that in-person gaming. That's when I started falling off, because that was my childhood, was playing games with my friends. We played James Bond on like the PS2.
Oh, my GoldenEye? No, that's 64.
No, it was another James Bond game.
The blue one. Fuck.
All right, ready?
Tomorrow Never Dies. Oh, bro, I can see the cover. The one where you'd go on the freaking chairlift to each side of the building. Oh my God. What are you saying? Anything? It was like a snow map too.
Dang! Wow,
What?
I don't even remember what game I had.
Well, if you put it up, I can tell you which one I played. Nightfire. Holy shit, fucking Nightfire. Oh my God. Can you type in James Bond Nightfire? I want to see images of these different maps, bro. This game rocked my... Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies is down there too. I think that's the first PlayStation though. Oh, bro, yes, the snow map,
it was
bro.
Nightfire. It was Nightfire.
Oh my God, bro! This game, bro, rocked my world.
Was this the game
bro.
where there was the landmines with the lasers on it?
Ooh, I have to
There
dig
was
deep
one
into my subconscious.
There was one with grappling hooks, and we would get like 4 friends. We would go on a map, and then we would do grappling hook. We did a match where one day we had no guns. We did only landmines that have lasers and grappling hooks. I can't remember laughing more than just running around the map, slapping landmines on every single wall, and then having a point where you're like freaking like Attack on Titan, grappling hooking around these things, dodging lasers, and just hearing your friends just screaming. It's like, oh my god! It's just, bro. It was, it's things like this I miss. I haven't felt that in a long time with any game.
We got to bring it back, bro. We got to bring it back. It's also that vibe of like, we have to be better, I think, as friends too, of looking for an opportunity to do that with a game. They don't come out very often, multiplayer couch co-op games. There really isn't investment in them as much anymore.
No.
If any, the only person that really does it nowadays is Nintendo. I mean, there are games here and there, of course. Even recently, the animated one where they turn into little puppets. And bro, I can't believe it's creator of A Way Out. I just can't think of the name right now. It Takes Two. Thank you. It Takes Two is a great example, but Nintendo's really the only one doing it with Mario Party and Mario Kart, and they keep updating that stuff, and the Olympics and stuff like that. We don't get it as much, man, and I wish we did. What we could do is like, COD and just do like a custom thing here, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same, bro.
It's pretty close. Gabe, we used to do this thing where every
Ellie, no. I just killed Ellie. I'm sorry. Continue.
But Gabe, he would when we would do sleepovers a couple of years ago, he would actually bring his PS4 to my house. I have a dual monitor setup, so I'd take one monitor and he would take the other one, and we would just sit next to each other and just chat and play COD all night.
Yep.
So that was like the closest thing I've gotten to feeling. But even then, like Call of Duty just gets so serious. I miss going in a map and just doing death matches.
Fucking around.
Yeah.
Like Halo Forge. I don't know if you ever did Halo Forge back in the day, but we'd get into that shit, build jumps, build ramps, do like little custom games. We would do the zombies where you could like change how fast they're walking, and you could create maps where they're mad dark. So we would do that with friends. I mean, after school, bro, whenever everyone was done with their homework, like 6 o'clock, you'd be like 8 people in Xbox Live Party doing Halo Forge maps.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. That's like peak. Like, I fucking get chills thinking of those days, bro.
So
oh my God.
Speaking of which, the game that's going to be releasing soon, Modern Warfare 3.
Yep.
Modern Warfare 3, the original one, I remember vividly one of my best friends growing up, he lived in the same apartment complex. He actually moved in after I had been living there. My best friend moved into the same apartment complex. I was so happy. I would like after school just shoot him a message. Yo, you home? You free? And he was like, yeah, all right. Went over, rode my scooter like down the street, and then we would just play like Modern Warfare 3 like all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yo, maybe we should do an MW3 little fucking sesh first day, all of us.
Absolutely.
Get a couple consoles in here, TVs.
So that's the first video game I'm actually thinking about buying. This the Modern Warfare 3. I haven't bought it. I haven't turned on my PS4.
If you get it, I'll fucking get it, bro.
I'm getting it.
I'm so turned off to COD, but if I have friends that are playing, that makes me feel more like inclined to, all right, like whatever to spend time. Because right now, like me, Law, Cam, Armand, we're a little, I was about to say fucking duo. Quado,
yeah.
Quado. We're a little quad.
Sure.
Quado. We're quadios. We like to play like Minecraft together.
Yeah.
We've done a few other games. But recently it's like, man, we just want to hang and play, but there's fucking nothing. I don't want to do Minecraft again. I don't want to do fucking Rust. Well, we can't even do Rust because Cam, but
Valhalla. No, Valhalla, not
Valheim,
Valheim.
but he doesn't have PC,
That's
so that's like just Armand. So it has to be one where it's crossplay, and then there's not many things that fucking have crossplay. I mean, even when it like comes down to FIFA or Madden, you can't do like a create your own club that you can do offline and all play together. It has to be online, and then that creates problems too with connections. It's just like fuck. There's just not enough options nowadays. No. But I'm praying and hoping that there is more of a push to do that. I'm hoping. I don't know really why companies would invest in that again, but hopefully we can be loud enough with our complaints that they'll bring that shit back. You know,
Friends,
you get in Mortal Kombat, so that's like a couch co-op game.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm hoping for anymore. I just want.
you just want a game that just gets you addicted again. It gets you that like
Yeah,
when you're
it's
done
true.
playing it, you're like, oh, dude, I can't wait to play it again.
Chasing the
It's-
dragon, bro.
Yeah,
I'm chasing that feeling.
it's just games nowadays. They've been changing so much where it's all about graphics and it's.
But we've been
it's
changing
losing.
too.
Yeah,
You know, we've played a lot of shit. We've gone through a lot. Like, I feel like even as an adult, like, the older you get, the less potent things can be, especially the things that you've been doing for so long, you know?
for sure.
Just like, it's just, that's why you look for new things, because you're like, man, I want that first time feeling again.
Yeah.
The first of anything is always the best.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's so many things that I wish I could go back to and experience for the first time again. Like, oh man, if I could time travel, that'd be the first thing. Like,
Yeah.
go back to the first time I watched Interstellar, first time I watched Infinity War, first time I played a video game with my brother, first time I fucking played soccer. Like, all those little
First time
firsts.
hearing certain songs.
certain songs.
Like I
Oh
wish I
my
could go
God.
back and just like witness the first time I listened to Michael Jackson. 'Cause
Oh
I don't
my
think I
God,
appreciate.
bro.
I don't think I understood what I was listening to.
Yeah.
Nowadays I listen to him. I was like, oh, I wish I can go back and just re-experience that with the mentality I have now, like my appreciation.
man. First time I met Bella, first time met certain friends. Like, it's just.
The first time I met V, it wasn't that long. It was 4 years ago. A good amount.
That was long.
Yeah, but I was like, I vividly remember that day, and I tell her all the time because like I ask her a ton. I asked her everything about what she was feeling that day, what I was feeling
Yeah.
that day, and I was like, I wish I could go back and experience that again. It just it's so different.
And even if I can't experience it, can we just get like what Tony Stark did in?
Oh,
Was it in? No. Was it Infinity War?
no.
Where he does the simulation
Yeah.
of talking to his dad for the last time. Oh, fuck. Civil War. Civil War. It was the first scene of Civil War.
Yeah. No, that sounds right.
It's just something like that where I can at least watch it like a movie. I'd be fine with that. I don't
Yeah.
gotta fucking go through time and go through a black hole. Like, that's good enough. Let me watch it like a movie. And honestly, that is what they're starting to implement with Apple. So Apple Vision has
Yeah.
this immersion feeling, right? With the new iPhone 15 that they just announced, there's more cameras adding to. I don't really know the specifics of how it works, but they're basically adding certain cameras and stuff and lenses so that it feels more immersive. I don't know if it's just a wider lens or something. I don't know the fucking science. But basically capturing those moments and then watching them on Apple Vision will make you feel like you were there in the
Yeah.
moment. So there's taking steps to try and, okay, maybe there's a lot we lost in the past, but now we can create technology around the memories we're creating today so that in 30 years with Apple Vision, it's going to feel like that Civil War scene with Iron Man, with Tony Stark, simulating his experience with his dad for the last time. So, like, we're going to get there eventually. We talk about it on the Down the Rabbit Hole podcast with Eddie all the time, which we just launched, by the way. Make sure you guys go check it out. Like, the future of technology is insane, man. It's so exciting. Obviously, so much of it can be scary, can be anxiety-filling, but there's so much positive that's going to come from it and so much fun that's going to come from it.
Well, once drones started being a more common thing, that's when I really started like, dude, this is so crazy. Like, seeing the new shots you can get with drones and the whole capturing, like, not only just a picture, but capturing a moment kind of like almost in 3D. One thing I've been wanting to get is a 3D camera. You know, those 3D.
Yes, where it's
tool-
like a stick in it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And dude, those look so cool. And where you
Nuts.
can, and it's like, I feel like that's one of the almost better ways of doing it as well is like, if you're having a party, like a 3D camera, you do a 360, capture everything super natural. So in the future, you go back, it's kind of like you're just standing there, like you're frozen in time, and you can just look around and, oh, dude, look at that person doing that. Look at that person
And
doing
then
that. It's just
imagine that in VR.
Yes.
Where you can look around and turn around and look at different people. Oh my
it
God, that
feels like
shit's
you're
gonna be
yeah.
insane, bro. It's going to be Black Mirror, bro. I'm telling you. You've seen the Black Mirror episode with The Contact?
I do not watch Black Mirror.
We're watching that episode together. And I was listening back to one of our old podcasts, and for some reason, I think I was thinking of something else, and I didn't hear what you had said, and I totally missed. You haven't seen John Wick. We need to watch John Wick together, please. John Wick and that Contact Black Mirror episode. That's all I'm asking, bro.
So the whole like, oh, like I wish I could go back to the first time I said it. Like John Wick is one of those movies where I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna feel that because I know everyone raves about John Wick, and that's a movie I actually haven't seen. So I'm like, I actually like when I watch it, I want to pay attention so I can like really appreciate it. I have more or less an idea of like story and like certain scenes, but it hasn't been a movie I've like dived too deep in.
Yeah. Wait.
More.
You've seen Interstellar? Yes, right? We've talked about this so many.
Interstellar?
Yeah.
And no, that's another
No,
movie
that's
I
the
haven't.
other one. Okay,
yeah.
okay. So those three. Interstellar, because I always get you confused with someone else. Because there's other people that haven't seen it either, which I'm like fucking shocked by.
That's white people.
Interstellar, John Wick, and that Black Mirror episode. It can be any time.
All
yes?
tonight. All
Well,
tonight right now. Yeah, I got
Accept
you.
the offer? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Law?
What?
You were here for that. You saw this handshake,
Oh
okay?
yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I thought you were asking me to get in on the deal. I was
No,
like,
not in
I'm
on the
good.
deal. I just want you to confirm that the deal was done.
just
That
like,
way we
no,
have,
I'm
you
good.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
witness
yeah.
eyes. And
I've
you
witnessed.
guys are you were here too.
Yeah,
So
seen it.
that's gonna fucking bang, bro.
Yeah.
That's gonna, oh my god, let's fucking go. I don't want to get on this real quick, but Patriots, we lost again. We're down 0-2.
Oof.
I don't think Mac Jones is the problem. I like our quarterback situation. I think he's good enough. I think that this season is off to a bad start and it could get worse, but I'm hoping that the mental toughness of this team brings us back, but it's a lot more of the same that we've been experiencing the last 3 years. I think if we lose to the Jets next week, Bill Belichick's job is in jeopardy. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that because I think this team has enough talent. There's just not enough discipline and commitment, I'm feeling, because we're making mistakes that bad teams make, which is penalties and turnovers.
Yeah,
To be a good team, you can't do that. The good teams don't do that. They take advantage of the dumb teams that do. Right now, we're that dumb team. So whatever can take us over that, wall, like, I'm hoping we can get there. And that's really fantasy. I have.
I was
have
just about to ask you.
18-point lead tonight.
Yep.
Going into the Browns game, and visit Aries on Discord. He's a big community member. I forget what his team name is.
I think
Aries team.
I think it's just
something like that?
Aries.
He has Chubb, and
Aries team.
Njoku,
Yeah.
and I think one other person playing tonight, and I'm only up 18. So I'm probably going to lose, but I made a lot of bench mistakes. I'll correct them. Don't worry.
Chubb, Njoku, and that's it.
Oh, but I didn't get to tell you
No,
guys
you're
because
thinking-
the week didn't
yeah.
end yet. Last week I beat Bella, which was real nice. So I'm 1-0
in fantasy football.
In fantasy football.
Yeah,
Not physically harm
Yeah,
my
that's-
wife.
that's gonna be taken out of context.
Yo, clip that and
Yeah.
blackmail.
Last week,
Yo, Armand, put me in a jail cell.
Last week I beat my
I
wife.
beat Bella.
I beat my wife.
Damn, hey, shit, that would get the clicks. Bella would be like, do it.
I am. I'm up 7 points against SCU, my arch rival, arch nemesis, everything. All I want to do is beat this kid.
And what does he have?
Game just started. He has Pat Fiermuth.
No idea who that is.
Pittsburgh's tight end and Pittsburgh's defense, and I have Elijah Moore. That's the last player I have. So I need Elijah Moore to outscore Pittsburgh's tight end and Pittsburgh's defense, which I feel kind of good about. Amari Cooper is active, so that hurts me a lot, but we'll see how it is.
After week 1,
We'll see how it
it's an
goes.
incredibly competitive league this year. Everyone drafted well, so it's very exciting. A lot of injuries have been happening, so it's just been leveling out the playing field, which has been amazing.
Probably one of the most even competitive fantasy football leagues I've been in.
Yeah.
I haven't been in many, but this is like, it's tight, man.
Yeah, it's real fun. It's real fun. Brings out the competitiveness too.
Yeah.
You know what I fucking wish? I wish we could do fantasy UFC. I don't know how that would
Yes.
work
I think
in my mind,
we
but
mentioned that last
I
card.
Yeah, I
need
brought it up.
something like that. Like if COD did fantasy COD League, which I did that for a little while. If they can fucking do it, we can find a UFC
Yeah.
version of that.
But that I think I mentioned that before because it's like I'm not into football, but I do like the idea of fantasy football. I think it's super interesting. All the research people do, and like all the
Yeah.
community wise is like, oh, you got your friends and you're all like talking to each other, like all these things. But it's like, I don't watch football. I'm not super interested in football. There's not any other sport other than UFC that I'm into. So I'm like,
bro.
damn, like, can we do it for like UFC?
Yo, can
Like,
you
find a
look?
way.
Just search up UFC fantasy. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Competition, because UFC fantasy might bring up some weird things.
As I ended that sentence, Pittsburgh's defense got a pick 6.
Oh,
So he's up pretty
that's-
far on
That's
me
pretty
now.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, if
It just says
that's
no
good
one,
for me, because if the Browns get blown out, they're not going to run the ball as much, which is good for me.
no one has been able to create a system for season-long fantasy and MMA until now.
Until now?
Until now.
Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
what he read. He's
Look, I'm reading it now. Hold on, let me do more reading.
Yo, if that's a thing, because in my mind, before you tell me what it is, let me just imagine what I would do.
Strikes, takedowns.
I would probably do it, split up the year into quarters.
Damn.
Okay, so you take the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March, and all the fights that happen there and all the fighters before January starts, you get to draft those fighters. And then you have those fighters on a team. Your team is like 5 fighters or something. And for those 3 months, whenever they fight, whatever strikes they land is a certain amount of points. If they get a knockout, that's bonus points. If they get a win, bonus points. They lose, they get negative points, whatever. That way, it's kind of like fantasy football, where it goes until, whatever the fuck it is, December or earlier, November, I think the season ends. I think that would be probably the best way to do it. And I feel like that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
The team thing doesn't make sense, but that's the only way to make the fantasy competition way work.
Yeah.
You'd have to have like a roster of fighters.
Or else they're just gonna be like, all right, I'm drafting Izzy's left arm, and then
yeah. Fucking like Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. Just like Zodiac.
what I was thinking, even it was like the Contender series. You draft like the new guys coming in, and it was like, all right, and then you see like in the ranks, like, how far did this guy get? And it was like, all right, I put my money on this guy, and he got this far, and it's like, oh, he got cut from the UFC, and you're like, fuck,
dude. That needs to be a thing. I think it could work.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
On this website, it didn't go too much in detail how exactly
We'll
it is.
do
but-
deep research later.
Yeah.
We'll do deep research later.
I mean,
But
speaking
it's
of
possible,
UFC,
man.
the last fight,
Yeah.
Shevchenko versus Grasso.
That's, by the way, the only fight that I saw. I
Yeah.
saw round 3 of the Kevin Holland fight, and that's when I turned it off, because I didn't get home until fucking 10 o'clock.
I think I
was
started
gonna
at the same time as you. Then I saw part of the Kevin Holland fight where Michael Chiesa curse continues.
You called that in
Yeah,
my DMs.
for the people that may not have heard, I didn't hear about it either. Pretty much the curse is anyone who fights Michael Chiesa and beats him the very next fight, they lose. And I was like, oh, like how many? 7 people. I think Kevin Holland's either number 7 or number 8 of just the people that have beaten Michael Chiesa and then immediately lost the very next fight. And I sent you the thing, and then like after seeing a fight, I'm like, ooh, Kevin lost that one.
Bro, there's a few of those that are real. Like the Drake curse is
Yeah.
real. The Madden curse, crossing sports, but that's for real. There's a lot of that shit.
The UFC cover curse.
UFC cover curse as well.
Whoever goes on the cover, the next fight they lose as well.
That's how it is in Madden too.
Yeah. Crazy.
Cover curse.
Yep.
Cover curses, man, they're real.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of those fights last night.
Okay. I mean,
The-
fair. It's
I
not a pay-per-view,
apologize.
so it's not mandatory.
Yeah, it
Only
wasn't.
pay-per-view is mandatory.
Kevin Holland fight was okay. He I feel like it didn't perform as well. But then the
I just don't think Kevin Holland's a top-ranked contender. He's like the gatekeeper at the top, because he's above 10, right? He's like ranked 12 or something?
let me see.
Am I fucking this up? I think he's ranked pretty high. Or low, I guess you should say.
What I did see though is that Kevin Holland, I didn't notice this, but like he fights a lot. He's averaging 4 fights
Yeah,
a year.
he's
Yeah,
active.
he's very active.
Because he's a man for the bag. You know?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
man, this shit pays me a lot of money. I'm just going to do it a lot.
But let's see, like last year, Stephen Thompson, Hamza Chimaev lost both of those, but then beat Tim Means, which is like, who is
Whatever.
that? Yeah. And then 2023, he beat Michael Chiesa and he beat Santiago Ponzinibbio. whatever that guy's name is.
Like
but
I said, the gatekeeper. He
Yeah.
loses against the big names and should beat the nobodies until
Jack.
yeah, which I've never heard of before. I've never even seen his face before.
I've also never seen him either.
It just
But he's
shows
16
you
and 2.
how deep the UFC is, man. There's a
so
lot
many
of
people.
fucking fighters, and I feel like we've been committed hard for a while now. Like I've been deeply committed to UFC for whatever we talked about, 3 years now,
Yeah.
3.5, and I feel like I start to know everyone, and then I fucking see people. I'm like, what
Yeah,
the
like-
fuck is that?
Like
But
the cop guy, a couple weeks ago, Cape.
oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
ranked
Yeah.
number 10, and I've never heard of him.
Never.
Yeah,
or
me
seen
neither.
him.
But that's kind of the reason why I've been getting into Contender Series now.
Yeah.
We talked about this too, but it's kind of like college football. You get to see them coming up, how they're performing there. So then once they get to the bright lights in the league, you get to know, okay, this guy's going to be good. That guy's going to be good.
Yeah.
And it also helps with betting too. It's like, all right, I saw him from the Contender. I saw what he did there. He did this next. And now when he's finally ranked, I've seen his last 6 fights. So now
You already
I
know
him.
what his strengths are. Like I saw how good he did against like a grappler or things like that. So
Exactly. So I'm hoping that pays off financially as well. That's a part of the
start
investment.
making some money back.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, that's also the importance of watching like the actual like the prelims, because for a good amount of time I was into the UFC, but I was watching the main cards and things like that. It's like prelims are what the next main cards are gonna be. Like
Yeah.
work those prelims.
Really into the early prelims and
Yes.
prelims.
They're the best
Thank
fights.
you.
I
Yes.
think so too, man.
Yeah, it's the prelims and then women's
Yeah.
like women fighters is because they got to prove it. Like the high level, high ranking, like the males, it's like typically they're a little bit more reserved because they don't want to lose that. When you have nothing to lose and like you're in danger of being cut from the UFC, you're giving it all on the thing, and that's where the good fights happen.
Yep. Because all of the people on the main card have contracts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like they're going to be fighting. They're high ranked. The stakes definitely feel higher and it's more exciting. And I get nervous because they're people that I know and I like and I'm rooting for. So there's more tension. But those early prelim fights are quality.
Yeah.
Quality. And you get to hear the boys warming up too, you know, DC with their commentary and chopping it up a little bit and getting loose and really going throughout the journey of the night, getting to learn the fighters. So I've honestly, since I got back into it again, I've been every card. If I'm watching the card, I do the early prelims and the prelims. Unless I'm out like yesterday and I can't watch until the main. But even then, like I don't watch too many of the fight nights. If I'm free and it's on, I'm fucking watching it. But when it's, you know, just a fight night, most of the time we're probably planning something else. The pay-per-view we plan around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking doing nothing that day.
No.
That's how we're going to be for the Charles Islam one, which I fucking can't wait for.
gonna be insane.
I
Insane.
can't wait for. We're not going to do our picks because it's not for another 5 weeks. I
we
think.
gotta- need to do more research.
Research. We need to be better with that. Now we're starting. We have a
Yes.
huge head start. We have fucking 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bet on this one. I'm going to start betting my picks on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this before Pedro came
I've
last
been
time.
a little warm lately, so
Yeah.
I'm betting. So I think it's time we start.
You want
getting
another
back
fucking
into
parlay on Sunday? NFL.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
You get like
Atta boy.
$140.
4-leg parlay was plus 1,200.
He's buying.
I told him, I'm
He's buying the
like,
belt.
after Sunday, I'm with you on whatever bets because
Well,
he's
I
on a
pres-
hot streak.
I proceeded
you're
to
gonna
make some.
drag him down.
I might.
I proceeded
won't
to
tell
make
you.
some. I proceeded to make some parlays on the Dolphins New England game.
Yeah,
Lost like all of it.
yeah. That's why I mean,
Well, not,
Do
not
whatever
all
you-
of the money, but like
Yeah.
all of the bets.
do whatever you want. But I've said this and I've said it to him. I don't think you should ever bet on like your team.
No.
No,
'Cause
I
it
was
gives you
betting
bi-
on the
even-
Dolphins.
You bet against them, but still, like I just feel like there
I
it gets
made-
sticky.
I made the mistake. I didn't understand one of the legs of the parlay. I didn't 100% understand it, and
What was it?
I don't know.
Some bullshit.
It's,
I mean,
winning the third quarter. I don't know.
It's home team, and even like for the UFC, like fighters you're really into, like people that like are obsessed with Conor McGregor or like that love Israel Adesanya. It's kind of like you have that bias where like you're only focused on them, and then it's like you kind of ignore the fact that
I
like,
think
bro,
you
do you
guys have that
Do you
with
remember
Izzy.
who's
I'm working
he's
on
facing?
separating that, and I think that started with Ty because I was like, I know this motherfucker's gonna lose, but I'm gonna pick him anyways, and he lost. So now I'm like, okay. If I have a feeling, same thing with Sean. We all felt it that morning. You felt it in your own way. I felt it my own way. I don't know if Law ever felt it throughout that day.
Oh yeah, I bet on him.
You ended up, but were you feeling like that the morning of too?
Yeah,
Okay, so we were all kind of
felt,
sensing it.
Yeah.
But we're in our heads, we're like, oh, but we love Izzy. We know he's going to be good. You ended up betting on him, so you doubled down on your feelings. But I didn't. I still picked Izzy. You still picked Izzy. It's just like, okay, I think we're learning our lessons. Like, this is a tough fucking sport.
Yeah.
You got to remove all bias, man. If you're getting that feeling, that instinct, man, you just got to let it do its thing. Okay, so let's talk about this Shevchenko-Grasso fight because Law didn't see it, but we both saw it.
I know it ended in a draw.
Fucking crazy, bro. When it came out draw, I was like, what? And then the fact that I found out later that blew my mind even more.
The 10-8?
The 10-8 fifth round?
Yes.
What the fuck?
So I actually rewatched that fight today. I understand it being a draw because it was very, very, very close. I feel like Grasso wasn't finding Shevchenko on the striking, but she did have her moments where she just was able to grapple her and she got some good strikes in there. So it was weird where it's a similar thing with Sean and Izzy, where it's volume versus damage. I feel like Shevchenko was getting her in the volume, being fairly dominant on the ground, but then Grasso had her moments where she was able to kind of turn it around. But like, how much do you value that? So I, rewatching it, I was really, really paying attention kind of on the striking, and really I gave Shevchenko 1, 3, 4 was a toss-up, and then 5 was also a toss-up. So I was like,
I gave 5 to Grasso.
at the end of it, I was like, I completely understand them making a draw because it was extremely close. Even rewatching it, it was extremely close.
But the way that they got to the draw makes no fucking sense.
But the 10-8 is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't agree with that at all. And I think every UFC fighter has been saying it. It was like, how do you give a 10-8 to, was it to Grasso they gave the 10-8?
Yes.
So it's like Shevchenko did the exact same thing. They got her in the same position in the first round, and that was a 10-9. And then Grasso did the same thing in round 5, and they gave that a 10-8. It's like, how do you score it like that? That doesn't make any sense.
I think the only thing that I've heard that could possibly make sense, which I heard Ariel Helwani say today, is that potentially sometimes what judges will do is they'll get to the end of the fight and then they will reflect on what happened and feel like they need to make an adjustment. So they change the scorecard of the last round because they can't go back to change the first round. Because now they see the whole picture and they're like, oh shit, I should have given it to this person. So that might have been the mistake. Regardless of the reason, that's fucking wild and should never happen.
No.
And we're talking about refs making poor decisions in the UFC way too often. The sport is growing. It's been amazing. The fights are incredible. The company is incredible. But this, over a long period of time, can kill a sport.
Yes,
it absolutely can. Short term, it's just frustration. Then we move on to the next awesome event. But if that stays consistent, bro, that is not fucking healthy for this sport. And I think that refs should be held accountable.
Yes.
They should be in the post-conference being interviewed by all of the journalists.
They need to have their face on the Jumbotron right there. Like,
face
so
on the
everyone
Jumbotron.
can see you.
The fucking camera should go to them.
Yeah.
Ref number 1, ref number 2. Like, we should see that shit.
How does Sal D'Amato even look like? Do you know how he looks like?
No clue what
Never
he
seen
looks
him in
like.
my life.
Bro, there's like fucking
He's one of the
Sith lords, bro. You don't
controversial
see them.
ones.
Sal D'Amato is the one you always hear his name, and he
yeah.
always makes bad calls.
Yeah.
Although I think on this one, he was actually one of the only ones that actually make a fairly decent call. But yeah, still,
The problem is it's not UFC's fault because the judges aren't theirs.
Yeah.
Right? They go through the athletic commission of each state or country that they fight in.
Which is
so
also
the state
stupid.
or country provides the judges for them, which is stupid. I wish that the UFC could control that. But even if they can't, I feel like they have enough of a bargaining chip, enough leverage to tell these commissions like, hey, we're not going to come to your state or your country, which, by the way, when we come, we fucking give so much revenue back to this city because we're here. The tickets sold, the restaurants that are packed, the drinks that are being sold, like the amount of money that's being poured into your city when we come can't be ignored.
Yeah.
Australia's tax was like 50% on fighters' pay.
Insane.
So
if we're going to fight there, your judges need to be required to do a press conference, pre and post, need their names and faces and images shown to the public, and they need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
There needs to be strikes on their name. If they've made 3 bad calls in the last year, they should be suspended for multiple years. The same way that would happen with any other athlete in a sport or a ref potentially in a basketball game or something. Like if they found that a ref was doing some shady shit, that motherfucker's getting suspended.
Yeah.
You know, he's not getting the playoffs. He's not getting the finals. Like there needs to be something like that. If you're getting reprimanded because you're fucking up, you only do early prelims. I mean, even that's fucked up still, but at least there's some consequence. Like, hey, you can't be on main events. You just can't. There's way too much on the line.
You've made too many bad calls words. And I don't know, man. There needs to be something technology-wise that counts, that's able, like a camera specifically meant to just count strikes, that it times ground, it sees these things.
The thing is that the judges don't know what they're scoring.
Yeah, like AI needs to be doing judging, honestly. If it made it...
That's how they could create an algorithm for how to actually score fights. Because right now we talked about like damage versus volume versus who's moving forward versus who's active versus what does a takedown count for? What does a stop of a takedown count for? What does being on the ground for only 3 seconds and then getting right back up count for? How many points is that? If they're down for 30 seconds, what does that count for? If there's a cut, how much is that? If there's blood, how much is that? If there's a
everything,
we don't know. We're all kind of like, yeah, that's like a point in our head, but there isn't like a system to it.
I mean, even in this fight, Shevchenko versus Grasso, Shevchenko took Grasso down, but then Grasso was able to control Shevchenko once she got taken. So yeah, it's a takedown, but then Grasso's controlling that. How do you score that?
Shevchenko does nothing with that.
Yeah.
And how, I'm sorry, I don't mind grappling, I don't mind wrestling, but if you're on top of someone and you're not trying to progress to a submission or you're not trying to inflict damage, that should not be an advantage that you're in.
No.
That is not an advantageous
nuts.
position.
Yeah.
It drives me
not.
insane.
Being on top of someone and just holding them or holding them against the fence is not it should not be counted as plus points or an advantage to the fighter.
Yeah.
It's not fighting.
At that point, you're taking a break. It's like you're holding them down. It's like you're trying to catch your breath. So why are we going to reward you with that? Like
exactly. You're just trying to catch your breath. That's exactly what it is. You need to be progressing. This is fighting, not holding. And then some people will be like, well, they're holding, they're working on. You can tell when someone's working and they're not. They're there just. Or they're fucking, trying to get their underhooks. They're trying to take them down.
Yeah, we're not talking about when someone's holding and you see they're trying to find an opening, but the other person's defending. So it's kind of at a stalemate. You kind of understand. I was like, okay, like you see they're trying to do something. We're talking about when someone's holding it. It's like they're very blatantly holding a person and they're not even moving. And the other person's like, I can't move. You're not moving. What do we do now?
Yeah, and sometimes in a bad fight, you'll get both fighters just accepting it. Like, oh, man, he's holding me because he's tired. I'll stay here because I'm kind of tired too. Let's get a quick break, man. Kind of whisper to each other, like, hey, 30 seconds. Let's just chill here for a second. I wouldn't be fucking surprised, bro.
Yeah.
So I hope that changes, but it all comes back to, like, how are they scoring things? This judging situation needs to be fixed. And I hope that we're not going to get it in the future. I know that even, was it last pay-per-view? No, or maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. But there was I mentioned it to you last week, where there was a submission at 11 seconds, but Herb didn't see it. So it went to the end of the fight, and they called it like they were going to go to the scorecards. But then they reviewed it, and they saw, hey, that person tapped at 11 seconds.
Yeah.
The fight should be over. That's a submission victory. So they ended up changing it before actually announcing it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. That's what should happen. You should be able to go to fucking VAR. You have all these fucking cameras.
Literally
use them.
A ton of cameras pretty much doing a 360 around the whole thing. There's no excuse to not see something.
I mean, and what happens with fucking cup checks now? When someone gets hit in the cup,
Yeah.
what did the judges do? They separate them, and then they go like this.
Yeah.
And they're just looking at the Jumbotron, just waiting to see if it actually happened or not. They're not going like, no, I saw it, I don't need to look. Like, if we're going to look, let's use it properly now. Let's have someone in the back who's reviewing it, doing super slow-mo, and let's get this shit right.
VAR only helps the game. It only helps the game. Doing the re-looking at it.
Some people complain that it kind of, takes the human out of it, which I get. But when it comes to decisions that can't be allowed to happen because of how wrong they were, there's certain mistakes and decisions and rulings that need to be changed and should be changed. So, gotta fucking do it, man.
The whole ruling thing about going each state having different rules was also made apparent in that the main event was with Grasso kneeing Shevchenko when she was there.
Yeah, she thought that it was illegal, but it's not.
It wasn't illegal. And I don't know. I know it was Daniel Cormier said it. It was like there's no weight on the hand. You can't be dragging your hand. But in other states, it's like if any part of contact is on the ground, that's a downed opponent.
Yep.
I
and
think
they
it was
were
also
saying
the
in
point
that
where
commission was only one hand. Well, she was only doing one hand, but it's two hands. So
I don't know if it was two hands. I think they were talking about there's no weight on the hand, and she was reaching down.
Yeah, moving her
just
backwards.
She was just touching the floor to make it seem like a down opponent. It was like, no, if there's no weight on that hand, you're up. So it's legal there, but it's like other places that's not legal.
Yeah.
So what, you got to learn the rules for each place you go. That shouldn't changes
happen.
the fight as well.
Should be one rule set.
And
one
then
rule set, one scoring.
Yeah. And then the other, they're saying like, oh, this state, it values volume over damage versus another state that values more damage over volume. So it's just like, it's too different, man. I love the sport, but it still needs some work out, some tweaks.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. But excited to watch some fights. Getting into the Contender Series is going to be a great time, man. Absolutely. We love the sport. We will keep watching. But yeah, man. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Like the video. Last thing I will say is we just started another podcast called Down the Rabbit Hole. You'll find the links below. You'll find them everywhere, all over my socials. It is a podcast where the boys are here, also behind the scenes, but we have a different co-host who is Eddie. You will see her on the shorts. We haven't released full episodes yet, but we will eventually. So make sure you guys come and support, leave a like, subscribe, all that shit. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Adios.
Love you guys.